First off, fuck rules. Also, fuck advice, you don't need it. Systems exist, but they're bullshit and they're selfish. They're not there for your benefit. What you need to do is figure out how to blaze your own trail. A relevant example is in Nikolai Google's short story The Portrait, in which a bourgeois painter is at the top of his game, the most popular guy amongst all of the people, all of the town. He's the talk of the town, he's in the newspapers, whatever. And he clings to the names Michelangelo, Da Vinci, and etc. amongst the Renaissance painters, not because he loves them, but to create more distance between himself and young aspiring artists. His insistence on the geniuses of past eras is not to help educate the youth, is not to push them in their learning, but is to hamstring them and to hamper their ability to take part in the conversation. Yet in the same story, we have a foil, a recluse, a fucking weirdo, who locks himself up in a studio apartment as he creates and scraps work after work, making his only goal to progress in the art that he loves. No matter how many relationships that costs him, or how many days he's stuck in the same tattered outfit. He, too, studies the classics, but he doesn't go to lectures or read textbooks. He goes to fucking museums so that he may observe the works of the masters. He sees their techniques. He learns it through experience. He's not just memorizing it through the analysis of some fuckwit. Towards the end of the short story, this foil makes a work of art so beautiful that when the main character tries to scoff at it, like he scoffs at everything else, he cannot because of how powerful and intimate the work is. I share this with you because when it comes to your calling, your work, and your passion, the important things aren't good grades and gold stars, but practice, diligence, and your own investigation of the topic. In the example that I gave, the rules aren't there to help facilitate the learning and growth of the artist, but to hold back the young. To put hurdle after hurdle in front of them to stunt their growth so that the old guard can stay on top longer. And there can be found value in education, of course, but the value of self-education is shown by every practitioner of it that isn't a lazy shitlord who merely claims the title of craftsman. Rules exist, yes. Patterns are legitimate, yes, but they're not nearly as useful as you may think. Patterns are something to realize more than they are to memorize. And they should never overshadow practice. A woodcutter knows how a tree will fall because he fucking cuts trees, not because he read about it in a book. Real life experience will always be more important than book learning, even if it's experience in book writing. Advice is only useful to a point, usually for simple tasks like how to insert a footnote. So, speaking from my own life experience, as a writer, most advice I've got about writing has either been bullshit or just didn't apply to me. My favorite is get a good sleep schedule so you can wake up early with the birds chirping, make yourself a coffee, go outside to see the soccer moms jogging, go to cafes to hang out and listen to the beautiful sounds of people talking. And it's like, as a nocturnal fuck, just what? I wake up at 3 p.m. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. I am an artistic type, and I don't think my sleep schedule gets in my way at all. And actually, what I see is that the more normal of a sleep schedule I have, the more I have troubles producing art, the more that I have creative blocks and etc. Another piece of advice is to keep a journal with you everywhere and, write in parks, write on buses. And it's like, first off, buses make me fucking sick if I try to write in them. I love riding in buses, but writing in them just doesn't work out for me. Also, I hate the sounds of kids. So, writing in a park's fucking out for me. Because it's high-pitched, and they scream, and it's just, oh my god. I mean, I'm not saying I hate kids. There are fine kids. But when you put them in a group, and you let them scream, they're Satan. This is the sound of fucking Satan. That's Satan's mating call. It's just a crowd of kids. That's all that fucking is. And then the third one is the outline bullshit. I am completely against the outlines. I just don't believe in them because I'm a drafter. I write a draft, it comes from nothing, and then my second draft is using the first draft to make it into a more cohesive story. It's like an outline, I just choose to do it by writing first. I just start writing. And, you know, like, my point is that you can examine large groups of people in an occupation and try to make patterns and rules out of it, but it's just not useful advice. It's just not a way to live your life. The way to live your life is as you do, practicing diligently what you want to do. That's it. That's the only advice. After that is preference. Every way to reach the goal is legitimate, provided that you're not hurting others or using them, and you're doing your work. This isn't to disparage any way of living or acting. This is just to say that you don't need advice. You just need to get started. And the way to do that is by just doing it. So stop reading bullshit on the internet and get to work.